And welcome everyone to another edition of Marcus Sims Media. I'm your host, Marcus Sims. Be sure to check us out on our YouTube channel, Marcus Sims Media, where we're talking everything about everything. It's like a potpourri of entertainment, news, uplifting information that we're bringing to you. Everything from musicians to people involved with community activism to just uplifting words that we want to bring to you. That's especially been my theme here this summer in the 256 that we're in here in Huntsville, Alabama, but also just bringing you something uplifting. I mean, there's enough time for all the negativity. We want to bring you something uplifting and positive, the power of positivity. So once again, check us out at Marcus Sims Media on your YouTube channel. Now, my guest is a hip hop legend, a hip hop pioneer, especially if you're someone that enjoys the music, that Memphis sound music, that'll get you moving. But of course, now he's flipped it and he's taken it to a positive, uplifting, inspirational stage. And he's also talking about toxic relationships that, man, maybe you need to tweak something, maybe you need some upliftment, maybe you just need some encouraging words, someone to kind of like vent to a little bit, someone that can uplift you. So I'm happy to have with me right now Mr. Dale, formerly of 3-6 Mafia. He is your love and life coach. He is an author of the trilogy of series of books that will uplift you and get you out of a toxic relationship, a toxic environment, and put you on the right frame of mind. Mr. Dale Lawrence, brother, thank you for joining me this afternoon.
What up, King Marcus, man? So good to be here with you, man. Thank you for having me.
Man, thank you for giving us a few moments of your time. And first and foremost, congratulations on the success that you've had, not only in your hip hop career, because we're going to talk about that, but also in the lane that you're in now, which is maybe a little different as far as the soul ties. So congratulations in that area, brother.
Thank you, King. I really appreciate that, man. This I feel like I owe God, man. He definitely spared me and spared my life for a cause and for an assignment. And once I got the vision and the revelation of that assignment, I haven't looked back, man, since. So, yeah, man, it's an honor and a pleasure.
And salute to you. We want to remind everyone that you can go to his Facebook page as Soul Ties on Facebook and also on Instagram as well. So we want you to give that a like and follow on Instagram and also on Facebook. And Mr. Dale has not been sitting at home chilling. 93 cities plus. He's been touring with this inspirational message and trilogy of books. So definitely on the grind. So that's why we're so happy to have the Love and Life coach join us this afternoon. Mr. Dale, tell us a little bit though about your origin story. Tell us how you got in the industry for those few who may not be familiar with you.
Man, I got in the industry by way of a brother by the name of Jordan Houston, known to the world as Juicy J, and Paul Bogard, known to the world as DJ Paul. Those were my big brothers. Those were my mentors. And they actually, man, just really really saved my life, man. I came up in a toxic environment and in a toxic household. I didn't know my father, and my mother had remarried, and the guy she remarried was abusive to both her and myself. And I had gone through this period, man, as a teenager, man, where I was depressed and very suicidal. And I used to sneak out the house and get into all kind of trouble with the GDs, man, running with gangs, in and out of juvenile. But I always loved hip hop. I always was a rapper. And I ended up sneaking out the house one night, going down to Beale Street in Memphis where Juicy J at the time had a club, and I gave him my demo tape. And I was 15 years old when that happened. And 5 years later, he ended up signing me to Hypnotize Minds. And that's how I got into the industry.
Wow. So incredible story right there. You've hooked up, obviously working with, now I'm going to say not just the legendary Memphis group, legendary Southern group, obviously so many things that are going on. So growing with the crew affiliation that you guys were so huge. I mean, if you want to know how huge it was, Hustle and Flow, you want to talk about Oscars, you want to talk about at some point, just in case you don't, if you want to know an Oscar, just know this, an Oscar, just know a movie was basically based
First rap group to win an Oscar. The second a musical group from Memphis. Isaac Hayes was the first one from Memphis for Shaft, and then hip hop brought it. With 3-6, the first hip hop person was Eminem as a solo artist, but the first hip hop group, 3-6 Mafia, with the Oscar.
And I want folks to understand that how huge that is, because it's not like hip hop artists are necessarily winning Oscar awards.
Right.
Now, can I say this? You guys got an Oscar before you got a Grammy?
Man, we don't even got a Grammy. Well, Paul recently got a Grammy for Killer Mike.
Okay.
For producing Killer Mike and Andre 2000. But yes, 3-6 Mafia has never received a Grammy. Got an Oscar though.
That just shows if just so we can put things in context more or less how that is. The film industry gave them a salute a little quicker than what the recording industry that they're in, but
which is crazy.
Right, which is extremely crazy, but a huge fan of 3-6 Mafia. We're going to talk about one of my favorite songs that I'm going to have Mr. Dale break down for me in a few moments. But Mr. Dale, at what point did you sit there and say, I'm in the industry, I'm with one of the most successful groups, state of Tennessee, South, and all that. Did you sit there and you want to pivot from going from the commercial hip hop and kind of some of the messages that are put out to now Soul Ties? And if you go to the YouTube channel or your websites or anything like that, you'll hear the Christian hip hop, the inspirational hip hop. When did you make that decision? Because that's a heck of a leap of faith that you took.
Yeah, man. It wasn't my decision to make, man. Like I said, it was a calling. It was an assignment. God spoke to me. Easter Sunday of 2000. And this is with me coming fresh off a tour, fresh off the album, the Hypnotized Camp Posse album. We were getting ready to start work on my solo album. And God, man, snatched me out of that, man. Like, he snatched me out of that. And he gave me the vision of what I was supposed to be doing. And he told me to do the same thing that I was doing, but do it for him. And the vision that I got, Marcus, I likened it to the Paul conversion on the road to Damascus, where, God spoke to him and he saw the light, man, and realized that what he was doing was not what God wanted him to do. It was the wrong direction. It was the wrong road, and he put him on the right road. So I likened my conversion to that, man. I ended up dedicating my life to God, man, starting a Christian hip hop movement and a label, signed an artist by the name of Canton Jones, and another artist by the name of Molly Music. And we just took the world by storm, man, evangelizing the youth and really being the alternative to the music that I formerly used to do, and being not just the alternative, but the antidote, because I feel like my lifestyle and what I was promoting was that of, destruction, death. But, the Bible says that, man, God is light. He's life. Jesus is the truth, the way, and the life. So I wanted to bring life music, man, to the marketplace and not let that be the only option. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we can talk about death. Yeah, we talk about murder. Yeah, we talk about all this stuff, and that is life. But also, that don't have to be our path. And that was the direction that I went in. So I was really just transformed, man, by the vision, by the assignment of God, man, and just I'm possessed with purpose, man. I mean, he just took over my life, and that's the route that I chose to take. It wasn't even my decision. You know what I'm saying? The Bible said he chose us. We didn't choose him. So he just, on that day, he spoke to me. I heard his voice, and he revealed himself to me, man. And I just been rocking with the kingdom ever since.
Let me ask you this then: when you had that revelation, that epiphany, how did you? Okay, tell me this: how did you first tell your Hypnotized crew camp? Like, I want to know exactly how that conversation went when you had to go and see them. Can you tell me exactly how that conversation went?
Marcus, you bringing up too many memories, man. I can't. Wow, it's been a long time since I thought about it. Oh wow, this gonna be a little viral interview, man. Um,
That's what we do.
yeah. The fury of I love it. Man, I went to both of them separate. Um, Juicy, you know what I'm saying? Both of them were like just shock. You know what I'm saying? It was a big shock, to them, me coming and telling them that. And I don't want to say what they were thinking. I can only say what I was feeling
Hmm.
when I what I told them. And I felt like they thought it was a fake. You know what I'm saying? That I would be back, or I'm just going through a thing, or had some type of phase. Uh, but they at first they wished me, they wished me well. You know what I'm saying? They respected my decision, but I really feel like they thought it was a phase, and I wasn't really serious about it. But it's been 24 years. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But yeah, that's how it initially went, and later on, throughout the years, them seeing my ministry grow, and then me ultimately seeing them again. Well, it's been nothing but love. I mean, I owe them brothers everything, man, because like I said, if they never would have gave me a shot and saw my talent and mentored me, and like I said, even beyond that, being a lifeline with me coming up in that toxic home and environment, like they gave me a reason not only to live, but something to aspire to. And so for that, I remember the 2019 reunion when they got back together and they was doing the reunion show with Bone, and they was this is before the verse. They got on the road. Man, we back there, man. It was nothing but love, nothing but respect, and it was so good seeing them. It was like a family reunion. But of course, other members I had stayed in contact with, like for instance, my best friend Gangsta Boo. She was in my life the whole journey. That
R.I.P.
whole stint where she went from Lady Boo, I was there for it all. I was a part of that her conversion, and so I always, still kept in touch with the crew. You know what I'm saying, over the years, and it was nothing but love and respect, man. But I think at first it was just a big shock. You know what I'm saying? It was a big shock, and they probably just thought I was going through some phase. But yeah, that's how it was when I initially told them.
Be sure to check out Mr. Dale's on social media. Of course, on social media, that is on Facebook and Instagram under Soul Ties. You can find out everything that's going
Soul
on.
Ties Trilogy. Soul Ties Trilogy.
Soul Ties Trilogy. Be sure to check it out, Soul Ties Trilogy on social media. We definitely want you to support this incredible ministry and message that Mr. Dale's putting out. And great thing, of course, from the former legendary group 3-6 Mafia, and a lot of great hip hop tales right there. I always tell folks, Mr. Dale, that honestly, my introduction to Southern hip hop was growing up. I grew up in Evansville, Indiana, and so
Oh, okay.
and so because of that, by default, we always got piped in New York hip hop. So I was never really up, I'll be honest, on Southern hip hop. And then finally, one day, this was when there was a store called Best Buy that was still open, and that I was on the end of cassette tapes. So I'm aging myself. But there was a hip hop art group called Outkast, Southern Playalistic. And I was like, what is this? I said, what? And so it just opened my mind, because up until then, all I thought of Southern hip hop was the Two Live Crew and the bass music from Florida. That's all I knew.
True.
And then
True.
from there, it grew to you guys. It grew to everything from 8 Ball to MJG. It grew to all of these great Southern hip hop acts that have, and they're all and the groups that have not blown up. So the South, as Andre 3000 said, has a lot to say, right?
Man, listen. Oh man, you bringing up family. Ball and G, Memphis, Outkast. Family, man. The Dungeon family actually produced on my first Christian hip hop record.
Oh wow.
R.I.P. to Rico Wade. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So yeah, man. I'm all about the South, man. That's where born and raised, you know what I'm saying, and where I'm gonna lay, you know what I'm saying. Just I got a lot of Southern pride. Yeah.
Well, so life coach, love and life coach. I need to ask. Let's jump right to the Soul Ties trilogy. You've
Yeah.
been so entrenched in the music industry. I guess another career pivot. What made you go down? Like, once again, it seems like you're taking some interesting moves. I guess next move we'll be talking about in a few years is Mr. Dell's now professional ninja or something. So I mean, it seems like you're taking these real interesting life turns. How did this come about, the Soul Ties trilogy?
Man, that's a good question, man. Marcus, I don't think it's a lifetime, man. I think it's just, diversification. You know what I'm saying? Utilizing all your gifts. And I'm a Gemini. You know what I'm saying?
There you go, Tupac.
Yeah, when you think about Tupac, you think about Andre 3000, him being, to me, the dopest lyricist of all times, but then him venturing off into doing flute, him being an actor, him being an artiste and creating Class of 3000. Like us Geminis, man,
Right.
we are multifaceted and multi-gifted. And so, for me, I believe in dying empty. I believe that everything that God gave me as a gift, I need to give and present to the world, and don't die with anything that I was that God gave me to give to this earth before I leave it. So sometimes the author, the love and life coach moniker, came into play when I began to deal with my toxic environment, my toxic past, because I saw that it was that toxic environment that led for me to be the type of toxic man that I was being, in life, in relationships. And I see how it molded me, and I was still broken. And so I began to really just journal and go to therapy. And on that journey, I began to, really ask God to really heal me from the toxic environment, the pain, the abuse, the abandonment that I had went through, not knowing my father, having an abusive stepfather, having a mother that didn't cover me. So in me writing those things, God was giving me a plan on how to be healed. And he later told me, he said, now turn it into a book and teach others, because other men and other women have gone through what you're going through. And so, I'm on assignment, man. It's a calling. So when God tells me to do it, I'm doing it. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I wrote the first book. After I wrote the first book, God said that this is going to be a trilogy. So the second book was Love, Lust, and Lies, which you see right here behind me. And then the third book will be out next year. So, and that will complete the trilogy. But it's my journey of a how-to guide on how to detox from all toxic relationships and all soul ties. Because you can be soul tied to something toxic or someone toxic. And we need to know, as a people, as a culture, as a generation, on how to heal from that, so the next generation can be better than the last.
Right. Mr. Dale, where can someone get the first two books?
Directly, man, from my website, online, thesoultiesmovement.com. Thesoultiesmovement.com.
Okay, we're going to definitely throw that again, and you'll also see it in the description at the end of the interview. So let's jump right to, have you been involved in a toxic relationship? I know it seems like an odd question, because I think at some point, whether it's in the workplace, in a love relationship, or maybe a family relationship, things get toxic, things get nasty. Tell us about a toxic. Well, have you been in one?
Yeah, man, across the board. Like I said, it started with my family, and I talk about this in the book. There are three major relationships that shape you. The first one is your kinship, your family, right? I already told you my genesis. I come from a toxic family, right? Then friendships, because the next relationship you have outside of your family is your friends. You go to school, you start meeting people, you meet friends, boom, yeah, toxic friends, of course. Then skinship. I'm a rapper, so I had to make them all rhyme. Skinships, which Of course, that's your love relationships, your lust relationships, marriages, all that. Yes, all three areas, bro. Toxic. Yes, I've been in them and I've been there.
Wow, wow. So now, of course, we want everyone to go to the website and get the books. But Mr. Dale, I gotta ask, could you give those that are watching us or even listening to us, because we're also gonna flip the audio as well, 3 ways to prevent, or 3 tips to kind of get out of a toxic relationship? Because we all go through it. We all go through it. Some of us, as I said before, in the workplace, whether it's family, with this a loved one. But could you give us 3 tips? Of course, we want you to get the book. That's why we want to ask him for 3. He's going to give you a free sample. He's going to give you one of those little samples you get at the mall, samples. But give us 3 examples of ways to get out of or prevent a toxic relationship.
Yeah, man. But just off the top of my head, man, if someone never gets the book, never hear my seminar, or come to the, first of all, you better come to the Soul Ties conference I'm doing August 25th, and that's number one, because you're gonna get all you need there. But for those who will never come, never see, whatever, if you're listening right now, here's the first thing: information. Divine information leads to transformation. In order for you to truly, your journey to detox from any type of soul tie you form, whether it be through family, friends, or a lover, or being soul tied to, watch this, grief. Some people are soul tied to losing somebody prematurely or in a violent way, and they're stuck at that grief. Some people can be soul tied to philosophy. To the philosophy of racism, or philosophy of, I'm a pimp, I'm a player, all my uncles played women, so I'm gonna do it. Or for a woman, all I ever saw was my aunt or my mama's playing men, or I'm so tied to this culture of sexy red and this ear porn that we now have in the hip hop culture. All of that, you can be so tied to any of those things. The first thing that gets you out of that is having the right information, because all of that is misinformation that led to your toxicity. So the first rule I would say, number one, is get divine information, which is, boom, from my books, from my ministry. Second thing, after I get the information, then I need to go into deliberation. Deliberation, meaning that I need to take the information and apply it to the areas of my life that I need to have healed, or patterns or cycles that I need to have broken. So it requires, a changing of the mindset, deliberation, the changing of the mindset. The Bible says, whatsoever man thinketh, so is he. Right. The reason why we continue in toxicity is because that's all that's on our brain. And how is that on our brain? From what we consume on a daily basis. Like I said, if we're listening to ear porn, listening to toxic music, the messaging through that toxic music, then it begins to train our mind. And whatsoever man thinketh, so is he. He will do that. Whatever we're watching, right? Because we got to guard our gates. Whatever come in your ear gate is going to affect your mind. Whatever come in your eye gate is going to affect your mind. So we have to deliberate and change that mindset over to a mindset of healing. So deliberation is number 2. And the third step, final step, I would give is activation. Because knowledge doesn't become wisdom until you act on the knowledge.
Right, facts.
Everybody got knowledge.
Facts.
Everybody, or you hear it like this. This is saying, Marcus. If we know better, we'll do better. Mm-hmm. That do represents the action. Right. Because it's a lot of people who know better but don't do. And that's what makes them just have knowledge. But wisdom is knowledge applied. Mm-hmm. That's what makes a man wise. That's what makes a woman wise. When not just you know the information, but you actually do the information. True. So inspiration, deliberation, activation.
Wow. Well, I'm here with my man, Mr. Dale, formerly of 3-6 Mafia. He is the life love and life coach, and he has his trilogy of books, two of them out now. One will be coming out in 2025. We want you to check him out right now. Go to his Facebook page, go to his Instagram page as well. Mr. Dale, you kind of touched on a little bit the music industry and what's coming out. You've been in this for over 20 years. Over 20 years, I'm gonna tell you, 20 years. Are you surprised at the content that's coming out? That I know music goes in circles. I always tell folks that all the time. And I'm not someone who's going to stand over you with the belt telling you not to listen to this, listen to that. But sometimes I'm just amazed at what's coming out, where I see, and you know it, from satanic images to really degrading images to, you know, 20 years, over 20 years ago where you were at, when you think about it, to now, and you see an award show and you see the images that are putting out and they're entering our kids' minds from little babies to adults. Are you surprised at where the industry is at now?
Not at all. Not at all. This has been in planning for the past 50 years. Ever since rock and roll, baby. Ever since the invention of rock and roll, ever since the invention of the industry, this is all by design. And that's why I'm so passionate about what I do, not just from the music side, but also from the ministry side. I feel like, my music, if you go back and listen to my music as a believer, that music that I put out was combating that satanic agenda. Everything in it, I was unveiling because I come from it. You feel me? So I know what it did to me. I know what the plan is for the generation and for the culture. And so it doesn't surprise me at all. And as we get older and as the generations go, it gets more wicked. I mean, even the Bible tells us that with each generation it becomes more wicked. So they're being more out there with it because, what they have put into motion has been working. It has been working. So now it's to the point to now where they can just be out there in your face with it, and you're going to accept it because they've done such a great job over the course of 50, 60 years in planting little by little and harvesting that agenda in the culture. So, that's why I do what I do, because, like I said, to not only give you an alternative, but also the antidote for the poison that they are pushing through the music, through the media, through the culture, through it all.
And I saw recently, Meek Mill talked about this. He made a comment about the music industry and the evils or the agenda. You're not going to get, they're going to fund the money or the project that talks about degrading women, gunplay, drug use, misogyny, that lifestyle. Even was it the young lady from the City Girls in Miami? She made the comment that when I think someone asked her, Dale said, "Would you want your daughter to live this lifestyle?" And she vehemently said no. She said, "No, I wouldn't want my daughter to live this lifestyle. I wouldn't want my daughter to even rap this lifestyle." Which says, but you make the music, mind you, you make the music, but you're even saying, "I don't want my kid involved in it. I would not," So it's amazing the job that they've done. And as I'm saying this, it hurts more because I know that there's redemption for these artists as well. But man, there's a lot of damage that's being put out there when I look at, and forgive me, maybe I'll edit, maybe I won't, but when I see a Lil Nas X, when I see something like that, and I see his mockery that he does to the Lord, and it's a joke, and I'm like, this is not a joke, man. You're really leading folks down a path that and it's not deadly. It's beyond deadly. I'm saying it's deadly, but it's tragic because what you're doing is you're affecting people in this country, you're affecting people worldwide, and I think. I don't know. I guess that's one of the things where I'm being a lot more conscientious of what's going in here, as you said, the ear food.
Yeah, man. Yeah, most definitely, man. You hit the nail on the head right there, and that's why my core audience is the audience of which I came from. Mm-hmm. Those people who do listen to that, who are in the industry. That's where my ministry truly is, and I feel like even a Lil Nas X, he does what he does because church people have failed him. You know what I'm saying? Like
mm.
you got church people out there who have misrepresented the gospel, misrepresented the message of Jesus, misrepresented the kingdom, and that's why you have this flagrant, disgust and disdain for things sacred or people of God because because they let him down. So we fighting an uphill battle, but I'm a soldier and I'm ready for it. And you're right, they're always going to promote sin more than they do salvation. But even the Bible says a house divided in itself can't stand. So when you have somebody like the city girl talking about, no, I wouldn't want my daughter doing it, like you said, well, dog, girl, that's hypocritical. So you'll do it, but you don't want your daughter to do it. How can a house stand if it's divided like that?
That's a toxic relationship. Toxic relationship.
There you go. So that being the case, this is why I do what I do. And that's why we as a people, now with social media, technology, now the playing field is even. We can all get together and support the movement, support my message, support, every one of us, everybody that's pushing the message of positivity and kingdom. We can push that now and override the messaging. Because at the end of the day, the industry follows the dollars.
Right.
So if all kingdom people got together and made voices and music that trumps what's out now, then that would be the way. The reason why Sexy Red, City Girls, Megan Thee Stallion, all these people, that messaging is popular is because the world, the generation is feeding it. They're getting the attention. They're paying for it. They're doing that. You know what I'm saying? They're feeding it. If they feed kingdom stuff, guess what? It's gonna turn.
Right.
But that's the question that I really don't even understand myself. With so many Christians out here, how is it that we cannot take over the industry by our support?
Right.
That's
so interesting you say it, not to go on this big soapbox, because we do want you to check out the Soul Ties trilogy. You can find out more information on Mr. Dale's Facebook and IG page. And one of the things about these artists that are putting this music out, Mr. Dale, and you know this firsthand, they are tremendously talented. It's not that we're not saying they're not talented. You got great lyricists. They're so creative with the music, with the imagery and all. But Lord, wouldn't it be just so nice to sit there? Could you do every other song something positive, or use the word love, or not having to drop an N-bomb, or not having to talk about guns, or popping Percocet or something like that? Could you possibly? I'm not going to sit there and say make your whole album that way. Could you do every other? Could you do every third song like that? Let the kids know that you're kind of rooted in something. That's something that I like Cheetos, Mr. Dale, but I don't eat them every day. Can you every now and then eat you a salad, drink you some juice, But Mr. Dale, I do have to say is I want to welcome actually in the room with me a guy who's a gospel hip hop pioneer for over 30 years. He just joined me, better late than never, but he's my brother nonetheless. Mr. Fred Whitlow, the second brother. Could you hop in the camera real quick? Of course, you got Mr. Dale, formerly of 3-6 Mafia. You're kind of blurred right now, but no, you're not blurred anymore.
What's happening, Doc?
He hosts the No More Dirty radio show that comes on Sundays 6 to 7 here in the Huntsville, Alabama area. Plays inspirational hip hop, uplifting hip hop. He's been doing this for over 30 years. I've known him for quite a while. And what I love about him, but you guys are so tied in, is you're taking your messages and inspiring people. Because I want to also make this clear. This is not some music that's in the back or no one hears. This music makes money. This music can generate funds. You can support your family, which I think some folks, I've never heard of it. You've heard of it. If you watched the BET Awards, you heard Will Smith do a gospel song. You heard what was the lady from Mary Mary? She dropped a hit. Kirk Franklin's been rapping for 20 years. Yeah. So don't tell me it's not something that you can't make money off of, or it's corny. Well, if it's corny, how are they still making money off of it, right, Mr. Dale?
Yeah, man. Yeah, all day long. And salute to you, King, for representing the culture of that, man, because we need that in each city. Like I said before, it's going to take us being of one mind and one heart to spread this message and win the minds and the hearts of young people as well as adults and you know, really just, you know, galvanize everyone to push this, because God is greater than the devil at the end of the day. It's just that we need the messaging to be pushed just like they pushing their message.
Yeah, man. Listen, I want to just say, man, shout out to you, Mr. Dale. And we met several times, you know, at Urban Soul Cafe. You killing it with you and Canton, all of the joints. Appreciate your work, man. You've been in this thing on both mainstream and the Christian hip hop or the gospel rap as we started. So, man, we definitely gonna keep this thing going. We got you in rotation all the time, and we'll just keep this connecting between Marcus Sims and myself. It's a wrap, Doc. Like,
yeah, man. Make sure you holler at me, man. Make sure you holler at me. Get my number.
I will, bet that.
Mr. Dale, let me ask you this as we're starting to wrap things up real quick. I want to thank you so much for being so generous with your time this Saturday afternoon. We know schedule's crazy. You got, you know, on the go. But now I'm going to ask you a couple questions that are a little off the record a little bit, or just a little different. So you're a Southerner, Mr. Dale, so let me ask you this. Does sugar go on grits?
I can't stand grits.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I can't stand. I don't like no Marcus. I don't like no hot cereal, man. Oh man,
What?
from a kid. But I will answer the question as a Southerner. When the way to get my sister to eat it when I was a kid that made it palatable to me was sugar and butter.
Okay. Sugar and butter. Okay, so Mr. Dale's basically saying, nah, he's going to pass on that one. Which one has to go, Mr. Dale? Tacos or pizza? If you had to get rid of one on the planet Earth, it's never coming back. Tacos have to go or pizza has to go?
Oh, you talking about one of my two favorites. Oh my God, one of them got to go. Because of the bread, I have to say pizza got to go. That bread is murder on the stomach. Murder.
Right. If you're 21 and under, you can get away with it. After a while, you got to cut them carbs, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Dale, what's the best place for me to eat at in Memphis? Give me best place.
Oh man. Oh, whoa. Okay. Oh man. You know, Memphis got we got so much good soul food. Oh man. Okay. If you on the high end, if your money right, folks follow. If you don't like fine dining like that, and you ain't big on, you know, paying $200 for a steak,
No sir.
like Moneybag Yo restaurant or nothing like that, I would say Soul Fish Cafe. That's where you want to go. Yeah, Soul Fish Cafe in Memphis.
Mr. Fred, we're going to have to get that. You like your fish, I like my fish. We're going to have to go to Soul Fish Cafe and check it out.
Yeah, we got to get that in, man. You already know, man, some good salmon and some of that, you know what I mean, snapper, brother.
I'm here for
all that catfish, man. And look, the best desserts, caramel cake. Oh man, it's off the chain.
Well, now you just talked about carbs, Mr. Dale, so you can't. Right. He said, well, you know what, Mr. Dale, there is something called a cheat day. It's okay to get you moderation.
Hey, eat that caramel cake and then the next day drink a gallon of water and run for about 30 minutes.
Right. That's how you justify it. Last but not least, Mr. Dale, what's your take on the Kendrick Lamar, Kenny Kung Fu versus the certified lover Drake beef? That was the thing that's been taken over the summer. As someone who's been involved with all type of things, what was your take on that? I mean, it's amazing because my take is, man, is he ever going to recover? But what's your take on that one right there?
Man, you know what? It was real difficult because, you know, Drake has ties to Memphis because of his dad. Shout out to Daddy Graham, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, Kendrick, he a Gemini. So I was kind of conflicted going in. So I said, okay, I'm gonna do it the hip hop way. I'm gonna let the lyricism and the offering decide for me. And I'm going with Team Gemini, man, Team Kendrick.
Look, let me say,
it was great for the culture. It was great for hip hop because it didn't end like Biggie and Pac, you know what I'm saying, or a Dolph situation. You know what I'm saying? They kept it hip hop. I mean, you know, and I loved it, man. I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the finale of Kendrick bringing together the Bloods and the Crips, man, on Juneteenth. That to me, that just, I mean, he already won the battle, but for him to turn it into a positive Black thing, that really just, I got to give that to Kendrick.
That was
man.
incredible Amazon Prime show. And last but not least, Mr. Dale, one of my friends who is familiar with your music and all, I have to ask this so I can get it out the way so they don't yell at me later on. Were you involved with it in any way, shape, or form, the Mark Henry theme song with WWE?
Mark Henry?
Mark Henry, the wrestler for WWE.
Who was Mark?
He was the wrestler for WWE, black wrestler, big guy. When you get a chance,
What was the music?
I'm not gonna actually say the lyrics other than somebody's about to get the. He would come out to the music, but it was 3-6 Mafia performed it, and he was a wrestler, very big black guy, world strongest.
Okay, well, no. In 360, then that was 3-6. Now I did sample the theme song to Goldberg.
Oh, okay,
Goldberg.
There we go.
Holy Ghost Soldier.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, that's what I'm talking. Mr. Dale, thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving us the time. Once again, as we're wrapping things up, the contact information and how they can get the Soul Ties books. It's a trilogy. 2 of them are out right now. The 3rd one will drop next year. Where can they get more information, and how can catch you on your upcoming tours and special events?
Yeah, man, everything on my digital address, thesoultiesmovement.com. That's all things Soul Ties, all things Love and Life Coach Dale Lawrence. Tour dates are on there. The store's on there. You can get your T-shirts. You can get the books. That's on there. And I'm out here in these social media streets on every platform, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X, at Soul Ties Trilogy.
Right. Be sure to support my brother and his incredible ministry. It's a heck of a story. He's addressing...
And August 25th, I want to see you in the house, man. I'll be in Madison, Alabama for the Soul Ties Conference, August 25th.
Say that one more time.
August 25th, Madison, Alabama. That ain't that far from Huntsville, right?
Oh, I can ride my bike over there, Mr. Dale. In fact, I'm saying right now, I'll be in the house. My man, Minister Fred, will be in the house.
I want to see you, Fred. I want to see all the listeners. They got to be in the house August 25th. It's going to be amazing. Soul Ties Conference. We'll I'm bringing my cousin, the People's Bishop, Bishop Kevin Foreman. We tag teaming that night, and it's going to be an amazing night. Get your tickets now at thesoultiesmovement.com.
Well, and I want to thank everyone who helped coordinate this interview, and we will pledging to be there August the 25th, Madison, Alabama. You can actually find out more information about this event on my social media, also Minister Fred's social media. So I have to thank once again the Love and Life Coach for joining me this afternoon. Mr. Dale, thank you so much for everything that you do. You're breaking down all these toxic relationships. Folks, love each other. Love each other. Stop all these diss tracks. Stop all this positive anti-Christ messages. Stop it. I'm talking to you, and you in the back room. Stop all that mess and drink some water this summer. Mr. Dale, thank you so much. And be sure to check him out on his social media platforms and also follow us on Marcus Sims Media on YouTube. Mr. Dale, my brother, thank you so much.
Love you, King. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.